as I mentioned, a nuclear explosion so powerful that it will be said to have moved the tilt of the Earth back to, according to them, its original position in relation to the sun, and will be the cleansing that will bring back the golden age of Atlantis? Or is it possible that they could stage a planet that would come out of nowhere and slam into, or tell us that it was going to come to slam into the world we're living on and change us forever? It's known as Nibiru. Now, even now, they're talking about it. The sign? 2 bright suns in the sky. I've talked about this before on A View from Space on AM 640, which has implications to the space shuttle's last 2 flights. They almost got it done, putting 2 suns, Scott Kelly and Mark Kelly, up in the International Space Station together. Twins, 2 suns in space at once. An allegory of our sun and this other planet that will soon appear, or will it be a nuclear explosion? I believe it's one or the other. And this will be the catalyst to bring back the golden age of Atlantis. Space back with more in a moment on A View from Space on AM 640.
The ancient mystery religions, numerology, the Holy Grail decoded, and he goes deeper than a black hole into today's headlines. This is A View from Space with the Spaceman on AM 640.
I'm the guy that calls space. Emails at space@640toronto.com or spaceman at 640toronto.com. Just been talking about the possible shift, the polar shift of the Earth on its axis. Originally, the Illuminati believed it was vertical, straight up and down. Thousands of years of summer. The golden age of Atlantis existed. And something happened that shifted the globe 23.5 degrees away from the sun. A catastrophe, an explosion so powerful that it caused a great flood, that it moved the Earth on its axis. Is it going to be duplicated, replicated, coming soon? Not the real thing. I'm talking the staged replication. I believe it has everything to do with the International Space Station. ISIS as its nickname. I believe it will play an integral role in this horrific event in the very near future. After all, when you understand the symbolic language of the Illuminati that is in the hidden meanings of all of the space shuttles, you'll understand what it's actually going to be used for. It's not about doing experiments on ocean temperatures or any silly scientific experiment that they keep passing off as they're doing up there. No, it's to control us down here. The symbolic language is hidden in the names of the space shuttles. Their mission statement is made up of all of the shuttle names. They're embarking on a Columbian enterprise to endeavor for the discovery of Atlantis, and all other challengers will be destroyed. On the International Space Station, there's even a cupola, or viewing room, as it's called, attached to the space station, offering a panoramic view of the Earth to watch this diabolical spectacle designed to accommodate just a very small number of the highest elite. Whatever this spectacle is going to be. And if you've noticed, for all of the years that they've been up in the International Space Station, and of all of the times that they have talked to the crews, shown the pictures, not once in all of those years, if you'll have noticed, they have never, ever shown you the view to the Earth out one of their windows. If I was doing that promotional activity for NASA, and if it were my responsibility, the first time I would get to show the people on Earth the view from the International Space Station, I would do it immediately. Take the camera, simply put it into the window, and let's have a look, see what they see. Ever been done? No. All you ever see them is floating. And we're supposed to just think that's just the most wonderful thing in the world because they keep showing it to us and keep thinking that we're going to get the same thrill over and over for years. Same thing with the launching of the craft. You've seen one. You've seen them all. There's nothing exciting about it, but they make it like it's always the first. Something other than what we're being told is going on up there. So, you can tell we're very close to this diabolical spectacle that they have planned involving the International Space Station, because there's only one final trip by the shuttle program left to make. The shuttle Atlantis has already been moved to the launch pad 39A for the last ever mission. 39, by the way. There are only 2 runways. One's called 39A. The other is 39B. Where are the other 38? They don't exist. It's all in the numbers. 39 is 3 times 13. So the shuttle Atlantis is already at the launch pad for the last ever mission. STS-135. A 9. 135. A 9. The number of completion will be Atlantis's 33rd and final mission, the Royal Ascent, with a projected launch date of July 8th, in just a month and a bit. 8, the sun worshippers' number, and the International Space Station will officially be completed just in time for the year 2012. final crew? Just 4 crew members. They are Chris Ferguson, commander, Doug Hurley, pilot, mission specialists Rex Walheim, and Sadney Magnus. 3 men, 1 woman. A backward 13. Or, put the woman first. 1 woman, 3 men, forming a 13. The all-inclusive numerology for the July 8th launch date is the number 19. 19 is derived by this way: July, the 7th month. Liftoff is the 8th day of that 7th month. The year, 2011. Take out the 0. Add the numbers. 7 for the month, 8 for the day, 2, a 1, and a 1, dropping the 0, for the year 2011. You end up, after the addition, with 19. 19, the magical number for the final numerological date. 19 is the 8th smallest prime number, the sun worshiper's number. 19 is a centered triangular number. When a 3 times 3 times 3 cube is made of 27 unit cubes, a maximum 19 of them are visible. According to the Quran, the number of angels guarding hell or hell fire is 19. Now I want you to recall, think back to when we were told by the Illuminati-controlled mass media that there were, in fact, 19 Muslim terrorists on 9/11. Could this be the hellfire meant to be perpetrated by the International Space Station and passed off as a collision of another planet into Earth, or a nuclear explosion? And finally, on the number 19, the phases of the moon fall exactly on the same exact days in the Gregorian calendar every 19 years. So if there is a full moon on July 8th, 19 years later, there will be a full moon on that year, on July 8th. Now, let me return back to Earth and pick up on a naked Paul Bettany, the actor about to torture himself for Jesus as a member of Opus Dei in the movie The Da Vinci Code. Remember, it was Berenguer Saunier who built the Villa Bethania at Rennes-le-Château. Lynn Picknett and Clive Prince have both stated in their other books that, number 1, the Da Vinci Code was a Johannite, not a Christian, and that his works bear this out. Number 2, they say that it is in fact Da Vinci on the Turin shroud, and that he is mocking the Catholic papacy by putting himself in this fake shroud. They also say that he has included what they describe as the John the Baptist finger point in a number of his works. If this is correct, then I feel the connection is obviously the John the Baptist archetype, the hanging man archetype, goddess, lover, Adonis archetype. There's a picture that Heath Ledger commissioned of himself just a few weeks before he died. This picture reflected the state of mind at the same time near his death. And the similarity of the picture to the face in the Shroud of Turin is absolutely incredible. It's as if the artist who was commissioned